Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now March 24th of 2020. I hope everyone out there is doing very well and okay. Everything looking forward to the future of Star Wars. A lot of fans have been very curious about exactly what's going to happen to the Star Wars franchise after the rise of Skywalker by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, is evolving the franchise as we know it in order to create a brand new Star Wars universe, in order to really give us a different version of exactly, what we expect to see out of this new EU in comparison to what Kathleen Kennedy was originally going to do when she had more creative control over at Lucasfilm. Now, everything related to, of course, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker and how that's going to be used in the new universe. A lot of fans are also very excited about that. However, a lot of fans have been very curious about everything behind the scenes, and everything that happened, of course, behind the scenes for the rise of Skywalker. You guys may very well be aware that Episode 9 went through two major reshoots and rewrites, one back in 2018, and another phase back in mid-2019. So 2018 and 19 were two big years of reshoots and rewrites for Episode 9, and all of that really led to a brand new version of the movie in comparison to the initial cut of The Rise of Skywalker. Now, with that being said, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's noted that Disney has multiple plans in place in order to create a better and brighter future for Star Wars, and for the Star Wars community, with the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, changing everything over at Lucasfilm as we speak. However, it's noted that behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, during production for The Rise of Skywalker, it's noted that Mark Hamill was very furious and angry with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy and had a meltdown with how a majority of his scenes were cut from the film. Not just that, but Mark Hamill was also very upset and angry at the fact that none of his deleted scenes will be making its way to the Blu-ray edition of The Rise of Skywalker on March 31st, where it said that Mark Hamill had many conversations with Kathleen Kennedy about incorporating his scenes onto the Blu-ray, and that he and Kennedy had a big disagreement, and that Kennedy did not want to release the scenes because it would show that Lucasfilm had other plans for an entirely different version of Episode 9. It said that Hamill was furious to the point where he wanted nothing to do with Star Wars ever again, until the new Disney CEO Bob Chapek stepped in and had conversations with Mark, and is said to be bringing in many of Mark's deleted scenes as Luke sometime in 2023 in the JJ cut of Episode 9 that is said to be released on Disney Plus, that will show the fans what Mark filmed mainly back in September of 2018. This plan by Chapek is to not only make Hamill happy, but the fans as well. So, the thing about Mark Hamill here, I gotta say, I really do feel for the guy. I absolutely do. After what happened, to him with The Last Jedi, and how he really expressed his disappointment with Rian Johnson's approach to the character, we've seen his face, right? We've seen his face in many interviews, in many of the group interviews as well, where Mark just seems very down and depressed, and you would think, right? At the time, that was Mark's major debut again as Luke Skywalker, as a mature version of the character, to finally return as what really made him as an actor, of all things. So, I can only feel for the guy, and the fact that this somehow repeated itself to the point where Kathleen Kennedy was the main contributor here, of deleting many of those scenes and putting them to the wayside, and giving us ultimately a different version of Episode 9 in comparison to what we were supposed to get, I can understand as to why Mark Hamill was very angry and furious and had a lot of conversations with Kathleen Kennedy about this. And not only that, but on top of that, Mark Hamill and his scenes as Luke are not even making it over to the Blu-ray edition of the movie on March 31st. Very, very sad. I gotta say, I don't know why Disney thinks that it's more of a healthy thing to hide the deleted scenes from the Star Wars fans. I think it would be a better idea to take advantage of their mistakes and to maybe embrace what they could have done with The Rise of Skywalker by introducing those scenes. The main reason as to why they don't want to release those deleted scenes is because they're so different to the point where they are a part of a different version of the movie, where those deleted scenes would be nowhere near as canon material per se. Now, of course, there were other scenes shot in the second phase of reshoots that would be considered canon, because it's a part of the actual Star Wars movie that was in the later cuts, right? So, when you think about it like this, you know, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they were working very hard with George on all these different scenes between Luke, Palpatine, and more, and the fact that they want to hide that on, you know, on the Blu-ray edition from the fans, I think that's a big mistake by Disney and Lucasfilm. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.